Oh my gosh, Evan Carmichael blew my mind. Like it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to find an educator on something related to personal branding where I go, holy moly, I've never heard that before. On this episode here, we're going to obviously break down what happened in the podcast interview that you just heard with Evan, but he came and did the training, this much longer in-depth training for all of our monthly members, and it was just awesome. Like really, really good, and love seeing somebody who's a really tactical expert and somebody that we're now confidently recommending, which, we don't recommend people lightly, right? Like we flush out what they're about. And if we catch any sniff of them being weird or doing silly stuff, we immediately shut that down. So if you go to brandbuildersgroup.com/Evan Carmichael, you will hit our affiliate link and go over to his training. That is just, that's his training. That's his little monthly program. But for all of our like active coaching clients, he came and did a special thing that we recorded, and it was like, oh my gosh, like just amazing. So anyways, you can check that out, brandbuildersgroup.com/Evan Carmichael, which is a link to some of his other stuff. But three biggest takeaways here in terms of how to dominate on YouTube. My big three takeaways from the podcast interview specifically. So first of all, this is something that's not necessarily unique to Evan, but it's super edifying to hear him talk about it. And it just reinforces one of our core central beliefs, which is put education in front of the sale. Put education in front of the sale. You have to earn the right to sell something to somebody. You have to earn their trust. Trust has to be in place first before there's a transaction. Trust must take place before there's a transaction. Like the trust has to be in place first. How do you build trust with a stranger? The answer is you give. You don't ask, you give. You give value first. You deliver first. You teach. And most of you, most of our audience, in some way are experts and educators, right? Like you have some valuable knowledge that you've acquired over some journey you've been on in your life, which is what makes you a mission-driven messenger, which if you're listening to this show regularly anyways, that's who you are. You are a mission-driven messenger. You're feeling called to like share your message with the world. Well, why are you doing that? It's because you have some expertise. Why? Because you walked the path. Right? There's a problem you've been down. There's a challenge you've conquered. There's an obstacle you've overcome. So take that massive education and give it away and put it up front first. And that is a core central belief. And I think when people get so lost in like, how do I podcast? How do I YouTube? Like, what do I do on social media? Like, I don't know what to post. Teach them what you know. Like, teach them everything you know. Give it all away, right? This is why we're saying all the time, give it away for free. Save the best for first. Give away the best thing you know for first. Teach them what you know. Like, I mean, that is how you build trust. Like that's it. That's the secret. At least that's our secret. If we got a secret, like however we've been able to do what we've been able to do. I mean, you go look at my Instagram, go read my blog posts, listen to all these podcasts. My books we sell for whatever, $12 on Amazon, but like, we're giving away everything we can. We're pumping it out into the universe as fast as humanly possible. Now, I will say part of my action item from this, even though we know this part and we preach this part and we believe this and we do this part pretty well, I think, but was when Evan said you should take your live coaching calls and publish those on YouTube. That's really interesting because we do have our customers sign a release that gives us permission to do that. And it does. I mean, that's an infinite stream of content, right? An infinite stream of content is to go take questions from people and give them live coaching and publish that online, make that available to people. And I thought, that's fascinating. Like, we've got hours and hours and hours and hours of that, but it doesn't, whatever it is, just teach, add value, share, educate, inspire, entertain. The 3 E's is what we talk about with our members. Your content marketing strategy effectively is one of the 3 E's. You're either, educating, encouraging, or entertaining. Some mix of the 3, but it's typically one of those 3. You're either an educator, an encourager, or an entertainer. And if you're trying to sell stuff online, put education in front of the sale. Give people a chance to sample you. So anyways, that's a good one. Always good to be reminded of. My number 2 takeaway is make data-driven decisions about your content, specifically with YouTube, specifically this audience retention curve concept. I mean, what? This is so simple and so practical, and like anybody can do this. Like, why are we not doing this? This is so straightforward. And so if you missed the interview, what's the audience retention curve? It's a tool, it's a widget in the back end of your YouTube channel that shows you second by second how long people are watching. And what happens, remember what he was saying here is, typically the highest spike is the beginning, as everybody starts watching. Most everybody starts watching your video in the beginning, and then they keep for a little while, and then there's some sharp drop off. But then what you're looking for are the spikes, because if it's flat, that means you held their attention. So that's good. Like, holding their attention is a massive victory. If it's a drop, that's bad. That means we lost people. That means whatever we said right before it wasn't interesting enough to help people keep hanging on to hear what was coming next. So that is a big time problem. But then what you're looking for are the spikes. The spikes are gold, because what's happening there is people are pausing, rewinding, and rewatching your video. Which, if you've ever wondered, like, I wonder what's the best part. Like, if I posted a 20-minute video on YouTube, which 60 seconds of that video should I post on Instagram Reels or TikTok or like a YouTube short? And you go, I don't know. Like, I've got a 1 in 20 chance there. Or you could just look at the data and see either where you held the audience flat or where there's a spike and go, that's the clip. Like, that's the hot spot. Just grab whatever that is, take it out in 60 seconds, and boom, now your whole content strategy, like the art, is gone pretty much. It's mostly science at that point. So good, so simple, right? Like, I mean, that one idea can grow your social, can help you get your next great client. It can help you make your impact in the world. It can help you become more well-known. It'll help you drive more leads. Like, just that one practical idea. I mean, this podcast is nuts. I mean, the number of, the amount of awesome things that we learn from these incredible guests who all come on the show for free just blows my mind. I mean, you know that? Did you know, like, all these guests do this as a favor to me and AJ? I mean, incredible. So that was the second one. And then the third one also sort of blew my mind. And this one was like, where's AJ? AJ, I want you to listen to this. AJ, this clip is for you. I need to cut this clip. Can we cut this clip and send it to AJ? Because it was when I asked him the question, how long should my videos be on YouTube? And everybody in the world is saying shorter attention spans. Humans are developing. We don't pay attention. We want things shorter, right? And Evan's going, that's not what the data says, sweetie. That ain't what the data says. Not on YouTube anyways. Not on YouTube. His advice was a minimum of 10 minutes, but really 1 to 3 hours. 1 to 3 hours. That is amazing. 1 to 3 hours? No stinking way. 1 to 3 hours. Unbelievable. 1 to 3 hours. Increíble. Like long form content. And he said there's giant demand and very little supply on YouTube. If you're a true educator, this is good news. Just post a video of you teaching what you do. And you might say, well, what if I give it all away? If you can teach everything you know in 1 to 3 hours, then you're not teaching on the right thing. Like, you're not an expert if everything you know can be taught in 3 hours. Like, there's got to be more to it than that. Like, otherwise it's like, you got to at some point go, should I really be charging money to teach this if I could teach everything I know about it in an hour? So, at least 10-minute videos and put them out there. And I just go, man. And we had Vanessa Van Edwards on our podcast here not that long ago, like recently. And she was telling us some of her secrets, and she's a great example. Vanessa is blowing up on YouTube, and I've known her for a few years now, but like blowing up because of her YouTube channel. And if you go look, like her, I sent our team her videos just because I said, look, it's not that fancy. She's not doing fancy editing. There's not fancy lighting. I don't even think she's using a microphone. Like, and she's blown it up because she's just teaching consistently, like these great little tips, these little vignettes. You could do the same thing. Just, this is a game of education at scale. I mean, that's how Evan defined and described YouTube: education at scale. And that's it. Like, that makes sense. And you go, well, I could go speak to 5 people at a Rotary Club, or I could record myself on my phone, upload it to YouTube, and have a few dozen people, or hundreds, or maybe thousands, or tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands, or millions of people watch it. Why are we doing this? Why are we not doing this? So, and long form content, man, that's. And AJ always tells me she says, you're a little verbose, honey, a little verbose. But she's always trying to be the cut it down. That's because she does it. She's like, just cut to the point, cut to the chase, give me the deal. That's how she operates. But the data in general, sweetie, says long form content rules the day, at least on YouTube. So I'm going with my man Evan Carmichael and the data. That makes me happy. That's excited. Just teach, share what you know. Go back, listen to the episode. There's a ton of great little things in there. Again, brandbuildersgroup.com/Evan Carmichael if you want to learn more from Evan and check out what he's doing. Very tactical, very specific to YouTube, but extremely, extremely tactical. And this YouTube being one place that I would say, yeah, we've dropped the ball. Like, we've never dominated YouTube like we should, but we're getting on the train now. Even though I feel like a million years late, we're starting now. And Evan is one of the people that we're learning from. So check that out and keep coming back. Share this podcast. We'll share this episode with somebody who needs to start a YouTube channel, or, you think somebody, that's really smart, and go, hey, you're really smart. You should be posting your knowledge on YouTube because it's going to change your life. And you should listen to this interview with Evan Carmichael and Rory Vaden at Brand Builders Group. So do that, would you, for a friend, and probably share it to your team. Maybe if you're listening and you're not the one who actually edits your video, probably want to share that interview with Evan Carmichael, and might I add the one with Vanessa Van Edwards as well. So, and Sean Cannell, the interview with Sean Cannell that we did as well, was also a great one on YouTube. So there you go. Look at that. You got other episodes to go listen to right now if you want more on this subject. So thanks for being here. We'll catch you next time on The Influential Personal Brand.